Hi guys, this is Brian. Welcome to Tech Bro. Guys, today we are going to learn how we can accept user input. Like, how can we enable the user to interact with our software? So, to be able to do that, first of all, we should be able to first ask the user something, and then he can respond to our software. For example, we can ask the user his name and then he responds to us. So guys, to accept user input, we will use the scanner class. So to use the scanner class, we first have to import the scanner class. So after importing the scanner class, we have to instantiate the scanner class. So guys, kindly follow along with me. We will talk more about instantiation when we come to object-oriented programming. But for now, just follow along with me. We need to give our scanner a name. Let me call it my scanner. Stone new scanner. So now we have included our scanner, the scanner in our project. So we can go on and we capture user input. To capture user input, first of all, we need to create a variable where we are going to store the user input. In our previous session, we learned how to create a variable. So we can create a variable and we can first declare and then we assign it a value, or we can initialize, like we can create a variable and at the same time give it a value. In case you missed that video, you can check the playlist and you go through that video so that we'll be on the same pace. But for now, I'm going to initialize. I'm going to declare a variable and at the same time, I'm going to store user input in that variable. So I'll create a string variable. I'll call it name and I'll store what the user will type in. So after this, I'll print. I'll check if I have picked the input by printing the user name. Your name is, and I will concatenate. This concatenation, which was also covered in our previous session. So that's why I kindly request you to follow every every session so that we should be moving on the same line. So if I run this program, we will be able to interact with our program. So you see the program is asking what is your name. I will tell it my name is Tech Pro. If I hit enter, it will tell me your name is Tech Bro. That means that we can interact with our program. So let me go ahead and I add something here, because there is something I wanted to show you which is really very important when it comes to taking user input. So I will ask let me ask something from the user again. I'll ask, what is your age? What is your age? So for the age, I will store age I will use an integer variable to store age. So I'll do like this. Goes to my scanner. Dot next. Use the next integer, because I'll use next int because I'm picking the next integer. So after this, I should be able to print my age. The age is plus age. So let us run our program again and we see. So what is your name? Uh, what is your age? Your age is, let me say 56. When I print, it will give me my age. So let's run this again. So what is your name? I will tell it I'm Tech Bro. Tech Bro. What is your age? My age is 56. So it will tell me your name is Tech Bro. Your age is 56. Guys, if let me show you something. If I run this program and I don't enter anything, if it asks me for the name and I don't enter anything and I just click enter, you see that our program will still run. So if it asks for the age and I don't enter anything and I just click enter, it doesn't run. So what we can do, we can write different statements. For example, we can write checks to see if the user input is blank, so that the program should not continue when the user input is blank. So we will do that in our coming videos. And also another thing I wanted to show you, which is really very crucial, is what will happen in case I put in user input which is of wrong data type. For example, age has to be a number. What will happen if I put in a string or a character? For example, if they ask for my name, I'll tell them I'm Tech Bro. Then if they ask for my age, I'll tell them, what should I tell them? I should tell them ice cream. If I click enter, you see that we get an exception here. We have the Java input mismatch exception. So in future, I will show you how to handle exceptions. But for now, let us first input the right input. But in future, I'll show you how to handle exception, because it's really very important to handle exceptions so that your program doesn't break when users are using it, or in case a user inputs something wrong. So we will handle that in future also. And again, I will have to show you another thing which I wanted to show you is, let me capture something else from here. Uh, let me do this. Let me ask this guy, where do you stay? Then I will capture the location. To capture location using a string. So I'll copy this, paste it here, and say address. Then I will print out also the address. Say your address is, address. So let me run this. What is your name? My name is Tech. My name is Tech Bro. What is your age? My age is 56. You see that when I input my age, our program will just jump and it will ask, where do you stay? And then it will say your address is. So it will just proceed without taking my address. So that usually happens when you use this scanner, when you capture an integer from the user, and after capturing an integer, you capture what? Sorry, you capture a string. Let me run this program again and we see. Because that problem usually it disturbs many people. And it happens to be like an error in their code, because for them they will be sure that they have done what is right. So what is your name? My name is Tech Bro. What is your age? My age is 56. When I input age, you see that it will just jump, it will ask, where do you stay? And then it will again execute your address is, and it will not give me my address. So that usually happens when you call the scanner.next int, using when you capture this integer from the user, and after capturing the integer, the next the next line you capture a string variable from the user, like you capture a string input from the user. Usually what happens is like this. Usually when you capture an integer from the user, actually let me start with a string. When you capture a string from the user, the user will input text. When he inputs text, for example, if he inputs a name, or he inputs a text like this one, after that text, the compiler will add like the compiler will add an escape sequence like this to go to a new line. So this is what happens when the user inputs a string, for example, a name. If the user is called Tom and he inputs Tom, after the name, the compiler will automatically add this escape sequence to move to a new line. But what happens when the user inputs age, or when the user inputs an integer? If they ask the user for an integer and the user inputs age, for example, if they ask what is your age and the user says 18, when he says 18, the compiler will put this escape sequence, but this escape sequence to go on a new line, if it's put, the compiler will only take this 18, which is a value, because it's only taking integer values. So it will only take 18 and it will leave this escape sequence, which is sending a new line. So in case you ask for input again, the compiler will find when this 18 is already taken, but this escape sequence for the new line is still there. So it will take that as an input, and it will show you that you have input something which is blank. So I hope you have understood me. When we go back here, I'll show you how to rectify that. So in case you have taken an integer from the user, you can rectify that error by clearing your scanner. How do you clear your scanner? You can just bring this scanner dot next line and you put it here immediately after taking your integer, so that you clear your scanner. So when I run this program, we should be able to input all the user inputs which we have to input. So let me execute. So when they ask my name and I say that I'm Tech Bro, let me put it where it's more visible. When I say I'm Tech Bro, then what is your age? My age is 56. When I say that, where do you stay? I can be able to tell them where I stay. Hope guys, you see that we can take all the user inputs without any glitch. So everything is working fine. So that is how we can rectify that error. So in case you have been doing that mistake or you have been having that error, hope you have learned how to resolve it. Guys, thank you for attending this session. We meet in another session. Thank you.